Hi, it's Diane Bullock with Douglas Realty. I just wanted to shed some light to some of the people who've been looking at the news headlines and are really confused about the NAR settlement and what that means to the real estate industry. First of all, let's be clear on one thing. Real estate commissions have always been negotiated. There has not been a set real estate commission in the state of Maryland. And I've been selling real estate. This is my 24th year, and I've never seen real estate commissions just set straight across the board. They've always been negotiated. Number two, this decision that's been handed down is not finalized. It should go into law and effect if it makes it that far, which it probably will. But anyway, what that means for buyers is that number one, it's going to be mandatory across the board for buyer agency agreements to be signed between a buyer and their agent before they're taken out to see properties. That's always been standard in Maryland. So, we have been ahead with that. It's just being made standard across the board. So the other states are just catching up with that. I have always required a buyer agency agreement with my buyers before we went out to look at property. And I'm pretty sure all of the other Maryland agents have too. If they have not been, I'm pretty sure they will start doing it now because it is mandatory. Number two, as far as the commissions between the buyer's agent and the seller's agent, yes, they have typically been paid by the seller. However, with this decision, it's being made that it's been decided that sellers do not have to pay the buyer's agents. Therefore, the buyer's agents have to get paid from someone because we are not working for free. Now, the buyers are now going to be required to pay for those buyer agent commissions. However, there are still ways that can be negotiated. So don't be discouraged as far as going out to buy a home thinking, that you will have to come up with all of this money. In some instances, you may have to. The real estate market changes all the time. We go through ups and downs, and this is something new. However, with the way the market has been going for the past few years, buyers have been able to come up with a lot more in down payment monies and covering their own fees. So I don't think that this is going to be like some big bombshell. It's an upset in the market to a degree. However, these commissions, again, can be negotiated. There are many ways that seasoned agents, know how to negotiate these commissions. So yes, it is going to be made so that the buyers have to cover it. But again, there are ways for that to happen. The final point I want to make is that buyer agent representation is necessary. When you think about going to a house to purchase a house and there's a listing agent, remember that listing agent represents the seller's interest, not yours. It is kind of a conflict of interest for the listing agent to represent the seller's interest and the buyer's interest at the same time. If they've signed a contract to list that seller's home, that's who their interests are with, and that's who they have a fiduciary duty to, their seller client. So buyers, I behoove you to get a buyer's agent because go and try and negotiate that on your own. You don't know the real estate laws. You don't know anything about the documents. You pretty much will not know how to negotiate the best deal for yourself like a trained professional real estate agent. So beside the fees, you will probably need to have an agent to represent your interest. You are not a trained real estate agent. Whatever your career choice is, that's what your choice is. Real estate agents go through a lot of training. We make sure that the Real Estate Commission makes sure that we take continuing education classes every 2 years to renew our license. So we are up to date on all of the laws, just like with this new decision by NAR that's being handed down. So it's in your best interest to have a real estate agent, a buyer's agent, to represent you in a transaction. Don't be fooled by the headlines. If you have any further questions, feel free to reach out. My number is 410-241-0605, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have. Have a great day. Bye.